Hi, everybody. Sorry you're not seeing my face, but I am really having a hard time with my setup. So I am just going to let you look straight down while I talk and let you look at what's going on here. Oops. And let me know if you can hear me okay. Also, let me know that you're watching so I can make sure to include you in my drawing for some little prize. Okay, so my name is Wendy Keys Turnbull, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, independent demonstrator. I believe this is my fourth Facebook Live. I'm really enjoying this, but I've had some illness. I've been sick, and my daughter and my husband have been sick, and now my son-in-law is sick, and the grandsons have been a little sick, so it's been tough to get things done around here, but I had all day yesterday and all day today to play because I'm feeling completely better. So I managed to get this going. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit. And I am just turning my phone off. Okay, I'm using my iPad to videotape or to live, and I am using my computer to watch. So please make sure that you leave me chat messages. Alrighty. So today we are going to do 2 cards, and as I mentioned in my message that I was going live today, I am going to do a masking technique on the 2 different cards, and then I'm also going to do an Explosion Designer Series paper card for the second option. And since there's about 2 weeks left of celebration, I thought I would use this Catching Butterflies stamp set, which is free with any $50 purchase out of any of the other catalogs. And then for the Explosion set, we are going to use the Hello Ladybug set. So, and I really love both the cards this week. So I can't wait to show them to you. All right, so first of all, Stampin' Up! With Wendy, Wendy612 at frontiernet.net. If you have any questions, if you want to talk to me, or you can just message me here. Also, I do type up directions for all the cards that I make. So if you decide that you'd like the directions emailed to you, I have them in PDF, and I could just email them to you. Just let me know that you want them. Hi, Anne. Oh, good. I'm glad you got the gift, and it's good to see you here. Okay, and my website for Stampin' Up! Is https://wendykeysturnbull.stampinup.net, and there's my host code right there, BT7 KNERK, KNERK. It's funny because my last one was Yapnek or something like that at the end of it. So, okay, so let's get started. Let me show you the 2 cards first of all. Whoops, hang on, because I lost the belly band on one of my cards. Okay. So this is the first card we're going to do. And this is, as I said, with the Catching Butterflies celebration stamp. Oops, it didn't get in there where you can see it, did it? Oh, wait, it's just that I have a delay. That's right. Okay, and so when you untie it, you get the opening here. Just pretend that you don't see that square of Granny Apple Green there. I double stamped the underneath of it, so I had to cover it up. So. Okay, so that's the first card we're going to make. And I'll just quickly show you, this is the second card we're going to make, but I'm not going to show you the rest of it yet. I'm not going to show you the explosion on the inside or anything yet. All right. So let me get everything out for our Catching Butterflies stamp, or card. I prepped all of the materials I needed, but I did not do a lot. I did the cutting, but I didn't do a lot of the scoring and things like that because I wanted to do that online for you. All right, I'm going to need all of my blending brushes. I bought the blending brushes. They come in packs of 3, I believe. I bought 2 sets, and I have one for my reds and pinks, one for my oranges, one for my yellows, one for my greens and blues, and one for my purples. Why is my purple one not here? Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Get out everything I need here. My stamps. and I'm using a lot of inks today. Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Pool Party, and Highland Heather. And they should be in the other direction because that's the order I'm going to use them in. So I'm just going to flip them over here. Okay. Please excuse the Band-Aid on my thumb. The air is very dry in here. You can see my hands are all really dry. And I have a really bad split there. And I'm also going to be breaking to drink coffee because I'm cold. Okay. So the first thing we have is our 8.5 by 5.5 Granny Apple Green card base. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to trim off 1 5/8 inches from the front, from one edge of the card front. So 1 5/8 inches. Oh, and actually I said to score it at 4 1/4 first. So what I'm going to do now is score it at 4 1/4. It's okay. That'll be my front over there. Okay. So now this is the Catching Butterflies stamp set. Really cute. Okay, so I'm going to fold it. I'm going to crease it with my bone folder. Okay. I'm going to next attach a Mango Melody rectangle. And this Mango Melody rectangle is 5 3/8 inches by 2.5 inches. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus because I love this stuff. I either use this or I use Tombow usually. I do have the regular Stampin' Seal, but I like the way this one goes on and the way it sticks much better. So I usually use this one. Okay. I'm just going to center that. Whoops. Fold that under. Center that on the front here. Oops, it's a little crooked. That's okay. It's a Wendy original. Okay. And then the next step is to attach the, this comes from the Sunshine and Rainbows, I believe it's called. Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper, and that's also in the Celebration catalog. Something you can get with a $50 purchase. You find that here. Here it is. It's this paper right here, Sunshine and Rainbows 6x6, and I am using a 5 3/8 by 1 3/8 piece, and that's going to go over here on this side of the card. I always, if I get off the edge, I always fold the edge of the tape over. Give it a little extra when it's not in the way. Okay, so I'm going to center that on this side. All right. Now comes the fun part. So now we're going to, this is Post-it note paper on a roll. It's all Post-it note on the other side. So I've already done this, but I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to use, which is in the other thing, so let me grab another one. Memento Tuxedo Black ink, because we're going to be coloring on it with blends, so we need to use this. And I'm going to take my little girl with her net, which seems to be lost. I wonder if she accidentally went into the other bin. Oh no, I know where she is. Okay, hang on. Sorry about that. Every week I think I'm all ready, all prepped, and then I end up having to get other things around. Okay, so I'm going to take her, And I'm gonna ink her up, and I'm gonna stamp her on the Post-it paper, and I didn't pick a big enough piece of Post-it. Yes, I did, because I don't need the net. I don't want the net because I just want her to be blocked off. Masked. Okay. So then what I would do is I would take my snips, my scissors, and I would cut her out. And I'm not going to do this because I've already done it, but I would, and I'm left-handed again. We talked about that last week. And I would cut as close to, I want to be pretty much right on the black lines. All right, you see. And then when I got up here, I would just cut her hair, cut around her hair and cut that net right off. Okay, and you will see, oh dear, where is my little, she is definitely the other in here. Huh. Well, this isn't good. This is not good at all. Where did my little mask go? I may have to cut her out, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to take up all your time watching me cut. Where'd she go? Is she on my... Nope, she's not on my computer. She's not on my desk. Oh, there she is. She's hiding under the markers. Okay, so I'm going to take another... I'm going to take the stamp again, and I'm going to ink it up. And I'm going to stamp it on... Oh, I see why. Just stamp it right here in the middle of a basic white rectangle that is 5 1/8 inches by 2 1/4 inches. All right, there we have it. Then I'm going to take my mask and I'm going to place it directly over that. Whoops, she's not quite over it. There we go. Just want to make sure that the stamped image is completely covered. And it might not stick down really well, but that's okay. We're going to take care of that. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the Poppy Parade ink and my blending brush for my reds and pinks. And I'm just going to blend in the corner at the top to start. And with these blending brushes, I keep one for all of my reds, and you can just rub it out. You can wash them, but they're very thick, and it takes them a while to dry, and I don't want them, I want them to dry like this, so I'm very careful about shaking them out when they're wet and just letting them drip dry. Okay, then I chose pumpkin pie, paper pumpkin, right, for the next length of my rainbow. Okay. And then yellow is Daffodil Delight. Now I'm going over the girl, and I don't want, I'm not going to go back and forth over the, I should have probably inked that up more, over the mask, because I don't want it to get underneath the mask. So I'm going to go around the edges of the mask. And you'll see how I blend up into the color above as well. Next is Granny Apple Green with my green blending brush. Again, Granny Apple Green should have been re-inked as well. Again, I'm just going to go one direction on one side of the mask and the other direction on the other side of the mask. Okay. Then for the blues, I chose Pool Party. I think of that more as a teal, but I thought it went with all these other colors. So, and that you can see on my sample that it kind of blotted there, and I wasn't happy about that, and I wasn't going to do that again here, but it's really hard when you're right there on the mask to be able to make it come off smoothly. And then finally, last but not least, is the Highland Heather ink. And we're just gonna rub some on there. Okay. Try to remember to clean these as I go along. Really, when they dry, you can still use them in any other shade or tone of the same color. Okay, now all we have to do is peel our mask off, and ta-da! All right, so then I'm going to take my blends, and I'm going to color her in. And I decided that she should be a redhead. I'm a brunette, but I decided she needed to be a redhead. So I'm using light cinnamon cider for her hair. I'm using the nub end as opposed to the brush end so that I can get into those little fine points. Hi, Aunt Bev. I'm so glad you made it here. See if your phone rings. I can hear Simon playing, my grandson playing in the room next door. He's a real Star Wars fan. He's playing a lot of Star Wars things. Okay, and then I used, and I know I had it right here, so, way over here. So I used the new skin tone blends to do her face, her hands, her neck, and her legs. And I used 900 the last time. I'm going to use 1,000 this time. They only have numbers. They don't have colors, although they have labels. Light, medium, deep, and deep, I think, are the colors that they have. I guess I could turn her up right again. Oops. Get into her neck. Her little hands. Okay. I think I'll switch to the brush for the rest of her face. And then I just kind of put an extra little swirl for cheeks. Okay. Then I do something which probably is totally not necessary, but I can't help myself. I like to make her have green eyes, so I'm going to use the Old Olive just to put a little line on her eyes. This is a light Old Olive. For her dress, I'm using light and dark Flirty Flamingo. I'm just using the dark to highlight the pleats in her dress. Oops, kind of went off that one. That's all right. And then the light to color it in. Remember to let your Memento ink dry for a bit before you color on it so that it doesn't bleed. Looks like I might have actually let it dry long enough this time. I usually don't. All right, so there you have her. Okay, so now the next step is to attach her to the card front. So, got my handy dandy Stampin' Seal Plus. Got crooked. Sometimes I think I'm crooked. There we go. Again, I got way off there. Oh well. Okay. We're gonna center her right on top here. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to switch to, oh, nope, first I'm going to put my brass butterfly on there. She's catching a butterfly, so there's going to be a butterfly just on the edge of her net. And these are the brushed brass butterflies. They're also in the current, I believe they're in the mini catalog. All right, take your pick tool, pull off one of the big butterflies, and put her somewhere near the edge of the net. Okay, here we go. Set that aside. Okay, now for the inside. So on the inside, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Oops. I'm actually using my directions, following my directions today because I typed them up in advance. So, okay. I'm going to stamp the sentiment, which is collecting sweet thoughts of you. And I'm going to use Highland Heather ink. And I won't have to double stamp because I re-inked this yesterday after I double stamped that. There we go. Those of you who attend my card classes, if there's ever a card that I use for Tuesday Night Facebook Live that you'd like to do in class, or if you'd like to do a similar one in class, but, you know, with a different theme to it or whatever, let me know. I'm always looking for ideas for card class. So, okay, just let me clean these off before too much longer. Okay, now I'm going to use the butterfly swarm, and I'm going to use Pool Party to stamp them in one spot. There we go. And I think I'll do the other ones. I think I did them in Poppy Parade. I'll do them in Poppy Parade again. So let me just clean off the stamp in between here. And we'll have them going this way down here. There we go. Now, we just need to create the banner for the front with the sentiment and how to close the card. Okay, let me just do this again. Okay, so my thoughts were, originally I was thinking a belly band, but it would have just covered her. So I decided to put a banner up here with a ribbon. So I am using gorgeous grape sheer ribbon. And I am using 18 inches. So this is 16 inches, oops, plus another 2. And the reason I'm using 18 inches is because I'm going to need enough to trim it after I've tied it. Okay. So, oh, before I go any further with that, let me get this cut. Okay, so these are the banner. So first I'm going to stamp You Make My Heart Happy. I'm going to again use Highland Heather ink. And I'm going to stamp You Make My Heart Happy in the center of this rectangle, this cardstock scrap. Okay. And then I am going to use my Banners Pick-a-Punch. I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to put it in. I put it in upside down. Oh, I should have told you when I cut these. So this is 3/4 inch by, let's see here. This is 3/4 inch by 2 3/4 inch, and the green one is 3 inch by 1 inch. So I cut it just a smidge under 3/4 inch so that it will fit into the banner punch perfectly. If you cut it right at 3/4 inch, it will be hard to get it in here. So that end, then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do this end. It's so much easier to do it facing this end so you can see how it is in the cutter. Okay, and then the 1 inch, again, just a skosh under 1 inch, so it slides right in and stays where you want it. That is if you put it in the right spot. So slide it right in there, flip it back over, there we go, that side, and then flip it over to the other side, slide it in there, line it up, punch it. Okay, now, tricky part. I want the ribbon to be between these two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the ribbon, and then I'm going to put that ribbon here on the card. Okay, then I'm going to decide, well, first I'm going to put a strip of tape down the middle of the green, the Granny Apple green banner. Then I'm going to put that on here and center it where I want it. So I think I kind of want it there so it's kind of centered over these two pieces. A little bit more onto this piece because that makes it more, yeah, maybe I'll put it all the way back here. So it's in the center of the card. Okay. Then keeping the ribbon, keeping the ribbon halved there, I'm going to put the ribbon against the tape. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to run some tape on the other banner, on the Mango Melody banner. And I think I want a little more on this end. Okay. Rubs off nicely. And I'm going to, and it doesn't matter if it's on there now because I know where I want it. So then I'm going to put this on here, centering it. Well, that ribbon isn't exactly centered there. We'll make it look like it is. Oh, I see why, because it's crooked. Okay. Hi, Lori. Hi, Judy. I am feeling much better, thank you. Just sorry my arm's in the way, but I'm reading everybody's. Does Stampin' Up! Sell the skin tone markers you are using? Yes, and they do. It's a brand new item. Just came out in the All Together suite, but you can buy them separately. Judy, you're not too late. I barely just got started. Oh, I'm glad you got the rainbow glimmer paper, Lori. Good. Okay. All right, so now I know that I want it here, so I'm going to put tape just on this side. And actually, in some cases, I might use tear-in tape or glue just to make sure that it's going to stay on, but I think I don't have to worry about that too much right now. So here we go. Center it back where I had it. There we go. Run the ribbon underneath. Now this is going to be tough with the Band-Aid on my finger, but I'm going to try and tie a bow here on the side. Actually, I think there's an easy way to do it. Okay, so tie the bow here. This is the hardest part for me, and with a Band-Aid on my, there we go. Okay, there we go. Not bad. I don't think I'll trim that at all, just to angle my edges here. There, and there you have it. So that's card number 1, using the masking technique. Don't know what I got on there. Let's see if I can get it off here somewhere. See if this will take it off without taking the ink off. Nope, it's taking the ink off. Oh well. All right, so there's number 1. Now, for the fun one, I mean, that was fun, but this one's even more fun to me. You just throw all this in the bin and set it aside. And do number 2. And as I said at the beginning, number 2 is using Hello Ladybug stamp set and the Ladybug Builder Punch from the January-June mini catalog 2022. Okay, and this is what we are making. Oops, get that out of the way. So this is what, I got this idea from, her name's right on the instructions. Oh, and this is what you'll get if you'd like me to send the instructions to you. You will get in your mail, in your email, this. It has a picture, it has the instructions, it has the list of supplies and what sizes I cut and that sort of thing. So when you take the belly band off of this and you open it up, you have a Designer Series paper explosion card. I just love this. I think it's adorable. Okay, so how to make this. So the woman's name the video that I watched is Julie Davison, www.juliedavison.com, and she got the idea from a woman named Carmen Melendez, who evidently she does a swap group, and Carmen sent this a card like this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get everything out that I need, of course. Okay. So I'm going to use this wooden board when I'm going to use the masks. So I'll explain in a minute. I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. So I'll get that out. My supplies out. Okay, so this is the stamp set. And I will be using the Butterfly and Flowers Layering Decorative Masks. I'm going to use this one. I don't know if you even caught that on the inside of the card, but you'll see in a minute. Okay, I need all of these things. I'm also using the heart punch. It came in a 2-pack with a scalloped and a straight-edged heart. We're using the scalloped heart. There's the ladybug builder that we're using. Okay, here we go. All right. Step 1 is to score the pale papaya card base at 2 inches and fold it in on the line. So I'm going to take my pale papaya card base, move all this out of the way. Use my trimmer. I also have a scoreboard, which I use quite a bit. Stampin' Up! I don't think sells it anymore, so I'm not going to use it today. To show you that you can do this anyhow. Okay, so I am scoring it at 2 inches. Uh-oh, you know what? I have a feeling it was supposed to be scored at 2 1/8 inches. I am pretty sure I said score at 2, but yep, it's supposed to be scored at 2 1/8. So I think I have another one of these. Yes, I do. Let me grab it. I wrote it wrong in the directions, so. Okay, so it's going to be scored at 2 1/8 because 4 1/4 would be half of it, so 2 1/8 would be half of that. Okay, so scoring at 2 1/8, and then typically you could turn it around and score it at 2 1/8 again, but I learned this from Julie on watching her video yesterday. This is what she said Mom does. I'm going to score this side, crease it, and then I'm going to fold this side to meet that side. That way I'm guaranteed that it's going to work beautifully. Okay, and then I'm going to score this side. I had never seen Julie Davison before, Lori, but found her when I was looking for fun fold ideas online, and she's a lot of fun to watch. She's very fun to watch, so. Okay, hi Deb. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you here. Okay, next step. Okay, so we are going to use the trimmer with the scoring blade or a scoreboard on the designer series paper, which I've chosen this designer series paper. We're going to score at 2, 4, and 6 inches, and make sure you score lightly on your DSP. 2, because you don't want to rip it, you just want to score it. 4 and 6. Okay, now the trick is that we want to score from this corner to the center, this corner to the center, and the same thing on this side of the paper. So I'm just going to fold this because it's hard to see where the score line is. I'm just going to fold that enough to show me. And I am going to line the bottom of that center 4-inch line up with the cutting and scoring groove and the top point. And I'm going to score. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Line 4-inch mark up and the tip. And score, and we do the same thing on the other side of the 4-inch mark. Hope you guys know what I'm talking about, 4-inch mark here. Score, and I don't even have to open it up to see this. That's the nice thing about the Stampin' Up! Score is you can line it up. Okay, so I have 2 X's essentially. And now what we want to do is we're going to fold. Okay, we are going to make mountain folds on the two outer edges. That means that the fold is coming up towards you. It doesn't matter if you fold that one or not. Try not to, but it doesn't really matter if you do. And then valley folds. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. Oh, sorry, I'm not in the camera here. And then, oops, I should do it on the other side too. Valley folds means that the fold goes away from you. Whoops, I should have done that. Away from you. Okay, now, that's what I did wrong there. There we go. Okay, now, you can close it up like so. And there you go. You have your nice little diamond. There. Okay. Now, the next step is I have a black square, which is going to be a diamond, that is, I'm looking at my 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, and I'm going to place that right in here, which that is a 2 3/4 inch, pretty much, diamond there. So, oops. And in it goes. There we go. That works. Okay, set that aside for a minute. We're going to come to my 2 1/2 inch by 2 1/2 inch basic white cardstock square. We're going to turn it to be a diamond instead of a square. And for this, I'm going to use my wooden board. Thank you, Deb Meek, for this wooden board that you gave me a long time ago at your house. And thank you to your husband, Gary, for cutting it for me. Okay, and I'm just going to put the diamond there, and then I'm going to place the mask over the diamond. And you can see there's like a diamond shape there. That's what I want. I want to get it so that it's kind of in a diamond shape. And then I'm going to tape it to the board just to be safe. Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to take my, let's see, which ink did I use? I used the pale papaya ink. Oops, ooh, I almost forgot a very important thing to do. Hang on. That's wrong. That is so wrong. Okay, first, I need to stamp my little guy on here using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And this is a dryer pad, so I got to put a lot on there. Put them right on here in the middle of the diamond. Okay. And again, I would have stamped him on the Post-it note paper, which I already did. And then just place him exactly over what you just stamped. And now I'm going to put him underneath here and line him up. You guys probably can't hear that, but there's an airplane wandering around. We have a runway in the backyard, and my husband's friends are passing by a lot. Okay, I'm going to go back to the orange blending brush. Come on, orange. Yellow. Orange. Okay. And I'm going to use pale papaya ink. And we're going to make a mask over the mask. And I don't think that that card under there is going to move, but I'm still going to get a grip on it while I'm rubbing, because I'm rubbing pretty vigorously because I want to get a lot of color on there. Okay, that is that. It's not Doug Judy. He is on the ground, but it's probably one of his friends. Okay, and then we remove this, and I got smart and I put some wipes. There we go. Let me just wipe this off quick while I got smart, but then I got unsmart. Okay, so I'm just going to use this paper towel and I'm going to wipe the ink off. Normally I would put it in a bucket of water or wipe it off with a baby wipe right away to get the color off of it so it doesn't stain. Okay, that aside, now here we have our ladybug, yay! Okay, and then I am going to stamp her body in Calypso Coral ink, which I just inked up, so hang on, I want to wipe the edge of that off and wipe my Band-Aid off so I don't get it all over the place. We line it up in here. There we go. Ta-da! All right, this stamp set is so cute. I can't help it. Okay, and then we're going to take It's a Good Day, and we're going to go back to our Memento ink. We're going to stamp that right under his little feet. There we go. I know, isn't it great, Judy? Have you used it yet? You just got it? Okay, so now I'm going to just tape this in place. I'm usually much better at taping. I don't want to keep you on all night trying to get this shorter than an hour. I think I'm going to make it today. We'll see. Okay, and this goes in the very middle, centered over the black. There we go. Not very well centered, but it'll do. And then we'll close that up. I'm going to flip it over. We're going to apply tape to this back diamond. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay. And that, make sure I've got it right. It's going inside here. I'm just going to line it up where we want it. Kind of centered between the top and the bottom of the card. I feel like that's crooked. Okay, that's going to work. Okay, so now I want to put either tape or ink, or either tape or, you know what, I think I'm going to use tear and tape on here because I noticed that my sample seems to come loose a little bit as I open it up. So I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape here. And another one here. 2 pieces is probably enough. Okay, same thing on this side. Being left-handed again, I could just flip the card around. Probably work easier. Okay, put one here, one here. There we go. Okay, and I've noticed that if I rub my bone folder over it, it's a lot easier to peel it off, but I also use my take your pick tool to peel it off because it comes off a lot faster than trying to, whoops, this little piece, than trying to do it by hand. Okay. Then we're going to make sure that it stays closed, and we're going to close the flaps on it. Okay, now when you open it, ta-da! Oh, that's much better with the tear and tape. I recommend using tear and tape. Now, that's probably fine. If it was higher, I would trim that off, but I think that's fine. It's just that it was a little bit crooked. Yeah, you know what? Let's trim it. Just a little tiny bit off of each one. So hard to do. And here. Close enough. Okay, now we're going to decorate the front, and then we're going to make our belly band. So, first things first, we are going to put these on. I thought this went really well with the ladybug. She can be on the leaves. So, what is going on with my tape? There we go. This is how I usually do my tape. One across the top and the bottom and one across each side. And then I usually crisscross in the middle, but for this I don't really have to do that because it's thinner. We're gonna... Oop. Oh, that was bad. We'll do one up the middle. Put that one on this side. Okay, sorry about all the tape on there. I'll just rub that off later, or I'll rub it off now. I'll rub it off later. Okay, you know what? I'm going to use glue on these just because it's quicker. But like I said in the last video, I want to get it on the edges so they don't lift. Okay. And this one on this side. So my card class, I managed to get my Saturday card class in this past weekend, but my Sunday and Monday ones had to be canceled because of the illness in the house. And I actually felt better yesterday. I was pretty sick on Sunday, but I didn't want anybody to come into a house full of germs, so I had to cancel it. So, all right, so there's the card. So I ended up doing a lot of extra prep, which was fine. I enjoy that. Now, typically you would score this and then fold it on the score, but sometimes it makes it too tight. So what I'm going to do is I am going to actually just fold it over. Okay, that's kind of what I want. Adjust it so it meets there. I'm going to open it back up and I'm going to place this on it. I could do that side, but I think I'll do this side. Thank you for sharing the video, Judy. Appreciate that. Thanks for okaying my choice on the leaves paper. Okay, then I'm just going to kind of center it. It might be a little off, but that doesn't really matter. Then fold it again. And again, I'm going to use tear and tape because I just think that it's sturdier and I don't want this band to fall apart the first time whoever I give it to takes it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape on this edge on the top of the card and on this edge on the underside. Okay. Again, do this, peel off. This one off. There we go. Okay, I am going to put it around the card when I fold it though. All right. Whoops. Trying to bend it to my will. There we go, except kind of want it to be with the fold open on this edge. I don't know why, just because that's what I want to do. Okay. Now for the decoration, for the ladybug on the heart, on the hello, my friend. So we're going to take, this piece is, that would be black. This 2.5 by 2.5. And we're going to go ahead and punch out the heart, the scalloped heart. And then I'm going to take my Pale Papaya Stampin' Write marker, and I'm going to edge this heart. Oops, yeah, I think I'll do that on the other edge too. There we go. Okay. And I placed these two stamps the way I want them on here. So back to the Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad. Ink them up. Place them up here on the heart. Stamp them. Ta-da! I'm going to go ahead and put that right on there. A little bit of tape. Maybe I'll go across here. Okay. Just going to put that right in the middle here so that the point and the dip match up with the center of the opening. Okay. Then I'm going to take, this is my Ladybug Builder, and the reason I have this is so that if I wanted to stamp them both on paper, I would know exactly where to place my stamps. So the wings would go there and the body would go there. I'm not using the body because I'm using black paper to punch it out. And then they would be punched out at the same time so that you don't waste a lot of paper. So for the body, I have a 2 1/4 by 1 3/4 black, basic black piece. And I'm going to punch a body out. There's that. And then I'm going to stamp the wings on here in Calypso Coral ink. And I want them to be really dark, so I'm going to ink this up really well, hopefully without getting the block inky. Yep. Oh, I hope that'll be fine. Okay. All right, there we go. It didn't come out so well there, but I think that's okay. And then I'm going to take the Memento ink, and I'm going to do the dots. Got to line them up. There we go. Ooh, that worked perfectly. I'm very proud of myself for that one. Okay, let me just clean those off real quick. Got my really dirty Stampin' Chamois. I just washed them. I have 4 of them and they're all very inky, but that's okay. They don't get ink back onto things, so there we go. All right. Now I will punch out my wings. And I might, nope, it's going to work. Punch them out. Ta-da! Then I'm going to take, and this is going to be a little bit darker, but I don't really want this white edge around here. So I'm going to edge with my Stampin' Blend. Just because that way the wings don't have that stark white around them. And I could even color in the part that didn't stamp so much. You see that my Stampin' Blend tip is getting bad though. I've got to replace some of my Stampin' Blend. Okay, now I'm going to use dimensionals. I think I'll use black dimensionals to attach the wings to the body, and because I'm not sure where the wings are going to stand out, I'm going to put the dimensionals on the body instead of on the wings. Oops. And then, whoops, take the wings, stick them on, voila, and then I'm going to use dimensionals to attach that to the card front. My ladybug flew away. Okay, and then I'm just going to put it on here. Get that off of there. And we are done. So we have our ladybug, hello my friend, and you slide the belly band off. It's a good day. There we go. Okay, so I want to thank you all for watching. Let me see if I can, so here are my sample and the one I just made of that, and my sample, which is open, and the one I just made of that one. Very similar. She's a little bit lighter skinned because I used the 900 on there and the 1000 on there. But there you go. There you have it. Now let me see if I can flip this around and let you see my face while I talk to you. My apologies if you will get dizzy. Well, there's my ceiling. Oh, there I am. However, I have to hold it because I can't get it to bend the way I want it to. So, okay. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. And next week, I believe we're back to 7 p.m. I will be drawing. I'll wait 24 hours. So tomorrow, actually, I'll probably wait until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Anybody who catches the replay, be sure and post that you've caught the replay so I can include you on my drawing. And I will draw prizes. Thanks. And I think I really love that card too. I will let you know who won the prize, and then if I don't have an address for you, you can let me know what your address is so I can send it to you. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you all next